Hey everybody, hope you all are doing awesome. Today's tutorial is for all the newbies and especially who are starting their own food channel. We will be creating an intro for a cooking or food category. You can use this idea into any of your corporate gigs or podcasts. Let's see what we are going to make today. So if you see guys here, I've animated the background, then I have animated the text. Also, there are different stock elements I have used to add little dynamism to the animation. I am going to head straight into After Effects. Let's begin by creating a background. So for that, we are going to import some stock element. So these are vegetable and fruit icons, and this is an image of Khichri. I'm gonna begin with creating a background. So for that, we need to create an Ultra HD 4K composition with 25 fps speed and 5 seconds duration. Okay, I'm gonna name this as BG. Now since we don't have a alpha of these icons, so for that we have to extract the alpha or extract these icons from this background. So invert. When you invert, the black becomes white and white becomes black, but it's just a change of color. We still don't find the alpha for the icons, so that we can use these icons against any different background. So for that, let's go select the layer, go into keying, add effect color range. After adding color range, you have to pick the black color and increase the fuzziness so that any bad errors or any glitter or noise that is there inside the image after the color pick, it will be removed. So you can get rid of that thing with the increase of the value here in fuzziness. Now if we switch to alpha, we still see some bit of the background artifacts. So I'm going to increase the value a little bit more so that we get a sharper alpha. I think this will work for us. Great. Now we are going to rename this as a vegetable doodle sketch. Let's go back to BGCom, that is 4K. Import the vegetable doodle sketch inside this com. As this is the 4K com, we have to multiply these icons throughout the whole composition. By scaling down the icons, I'm going to make the different variations of this. I'm gonna cut some part of that. And I'm going to keep duplicating and make the variations so that we can use them here inside our background. It's up to you how many objects, how many elements you want to show in your composition. The more smaller the icons, the more density of the icons you can show inside the HD. If you keep the icons bigger in this com, eventually they are going to look bigger inside the HD com. So I'm going to adjust them in such a way that they don't look so big inside the HD comp when we import. I'm going to quickly do this. So I have created this background by duplicating all these small icons. So I have the whole list of elements So let's go and add a gray solid. Let's put it below the layers of icons, and here I'm going to add an adjustment layer on top of this. Let's create a curve so that we can add a little contrast to this composition. Okay, we can also add vignette, CC vignette here. You can see here that we have got a little bit of the gradient on this side. In the center we have a brighter side of this background, and on the edges we have a little darker side of the background. So yes, so I think this looks pretty good. Now next let's animate the text. For the text I'm going to create a composition that is HD. HD TV 1080 at 25 fps with a 5 seconds of duration, and inside this text I'm going to write Ayurveda. Let's make it capital. I think small looks good. Ayurveda Khichri recipe. So I'm going to adjust the font size here. Okay, I'm using cross into one font. You can use any good font that you like. I want to make this capital and see how it looks. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. Let's make it capital. Nice. Before you finalize the font size, we have to create a main composition. And in this main composition, we are going to import the text. Okay. Let's take the text to the center a bit. Cool. Also, import the background. Okay. So once we import the background, it's pretty big, so we can scale this background a little bit so that we see more icons behind our text. Okay, and we can also make this background a little bit more brighter so that we have more gray tone on the background. So this is our khichdi dish. It's a bowl of khichdi. I'm gonna quickly mask this out. This is very simple mask. It's just, you don't need to animate, you just need a mask so that you can cut it out. Okay, let's rename this khichdi dish. How many of you like khichdi? Just, you can write in the comments. Khichdi dish. And let's bring that khichdi dish in here. Oh, it's so big. The scale is down. Bring it to the left. I have turned on title safe. I think I can take the text a little bit outside, and I think we are pretty good. Let's bring the khichdi recipe closer to Ayurveda text. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. We need to make the background color a little bit more darker because we have lost the contrast. Oh, it's very black. Yeah, I think this is good. We can add some gradient by duplicating here. We can add a circle. Okay, and make this stream mode and just feather this. Nice. So if you see, just created a halo inside in the middle of the background. Okay, just playing with the lighting a little bit. You can also do whatever lighting you think will look good as per your product. Let's do animation on both of these elements, Ayurveda Khichri recipe and the Khichri bowl. So for the animation, I'm going to extract, or let's duplicate this. From the first layer, I'm going to delete the bottom part, and from the bottom layer, I'm going to delete the upper Ayurveda text. Move this thing down. Now let's go and animate the text. For Ayurveda, I'm going to select the text, add the operator position, select the animator 1 again, and add the property opacity. Okay. Next, let's go inside and change some of the parameters here. I'm going to switch this to ramp up. Let's keep this on characters, and I need the position to be down. Okay. Now for animator 1, we have added position. And opacity both. Let's go here and add a key for the offset. Let's make this to -100, and here let's make this 100. Okay, now if we see, we don't see any change, but you will see some change. Alright, so the text is animating. It has moved to position value 131 in Y direction at offset value of -100, and as it comes to +100, offset value, when the offset value becomes 100, the position becomes default. Okay, so for this we have added the animation, but now we need to create a bouncy effect on this one. So to create a bouncy effect, I'm going to add a little bit of easy low on this, so that when it settles down, it comes in very slow. Okay, now next thing we are going to do here is that, since we need a bouncy effect, the bouncy effect, each letter will travel up and down from its default position for certain frames. For example, because A is traveling from 0 to 100 till here, it needs to go little further up and little further down, and then come back to its original position, so that we have the bouncy animation on each letter. To create that, we need to duplicate the animator. In this, we have to delete the opacity and change the values here. Make these both of them 50, and we need to make the position to -60 maybe. Okay, and we also have to offset these keys a little bit. You get it? See, it's going up and then slowly coming down. Initially, what was happening? Before we added animator 2, the text were just coming up, right? But now, after adding animator 2, the texts are going beyond their default position and then coming back. Okay? But here we can also add a little twist, like we discussed before. We can also give them a move below their default position. So to do that, we can duplicate this animator again, and inside the advanced settings, we can make this a positive value. We can keep this little low so that we don't have so much of travel inside the letters. Okay, cool. Now we can also change the easy low in this easy high a bit. Nice. So we have that little follow through on the text. See, there is little movement, but we can increase the position a little bit more. Make it 20. Make it 20. Like, good. I think this looks nice. You can increase the position on the third animator more as per your requirement. But I think this 20 value would be sufficient and will look appropriate for this animation. Cool. Great. Here the text on the first frame should disappear. So to make them disappear, we have added the opacity. We just need to make this opacity value 0. Remember, you are not adding the opacity operator in animator 2 and animator 3. If you add the opacity operator inside both of these animators, the text will not be visible till the end. So please remember that we are only adding the opacity operator in animator 1. Correct? So we have completed the Ayurveda animation. Now we are going to give the same treatment to Khichri recipe text. Let's copy all the animators and paste them to Khichri recipe. So we got the same animation here. We can offset the animation a little bit. Just to be careful, we should not have them very close. We can just separate them a little bit so that we have no overlapping between the two lines. Cool. So we have finished animating this portion, but let's add one more section here. Below this we can write our company name, Khichri recipe by, let's add by Ayudh Creations. We can change the font to Opens, make it bold or light as per your requirement. But here we can add a little bit of the twist in the placement. Let's bring the pivot of this shape to the left of the object and bring this thing closer. Cool. We can increase the font size on Ayurveda, or we can decrease the font size on Khichri recipe. Right, let's readjust the positions on these layers so that we can beautify this. Okay, I think I don't like the bold font. We can make it more lighter, and we can reduce the size a little bit more. Reduce the thickness as well on this rectangular shape. Okay, so I have unlinked this. If you link and do change the values, they will change together. So to avoid that, I've unlinked, and then I'm going to change the individual values. You can press Ctrl while changing the values so that you get a gradual increase or decrease. I think we can decrease it a little bit more. That's okay. Let's bring this here Cool. And let's see how it looks inside the main comp. Yeah, I think we can reduce the size of Khichri recipe a little bit more. And what if we change this to small letters? Will it look nice? What do you guys suggest? Should we keep it capital letters or the small letters? Let's switch between the two, and we can go with the small letters, but you can suggest me in the comment box which would have been look nice. If you want, you can keep the different font for this text as well. Okay, it's all up to your choice. How you can make this more beautiful, it's up to you. I'm just showing you a way. I'm just sharing the best way to create such a beautiful animation. Now, because we have the animation ready, I still have to make the animation for this too. For the rectangle, I'm going to animate the scale by unlinking the scale value. Make the key here. I'm gonna come here and reduce, make this 0, so we get a scale animation on this rectangle shape, and press F9 to ease this. Ease the keys. I think let's little faster. And on the Ayudh creations, we can just add a normal simple text animation with a position and opacity. Okay, so here I'm going to go to advanced, make it ramp up, and add a key. Make this 100, make this 0, and here I want these letters to be visible. Okay, let's see. Now it's on characters. We can make this word as well, so we get the words. Let's add some value in position. Oh, it's too fast. It's too fast. We need to increase the. Okay, I'm gonna make this easy. I mean, they're appearing very late, but I think we need to add some. Okay, I think this is okay. This is okay. Let's bring the shape a little bit more faster. I think this looks better. Now we have completed the animation on text. Let's go and animate the Khichri dish now. For the Khichri dish, we are going to use rotation and scale value. I'm going to add the key, but before adding the key, I need to set the final position and rotation on this bowl. So for this, let's rotate this here. Okay, I think this looks better in the placement. I'm also going to adjust the pivot to the center of this bowl. It's more of the central rotation. Let's add a key, and here I'm going to make the rotation anti-clockwise, okay, and make the scale 0. So when you play the animation, you see that it's rotating. You can even rotate this even more. Great. So it has that rotating motion, but this is very linear. So as we did the bouncy effect in the text, we are going to do the same kind of effect in the bowl dish as well. So to create that, what we can do, let's copy the keys here for a couple of times. So now last key will be the final key or the default key. This is the final position. I'm going to increase the scale at this position a little bit, and I'm going to rotate this even further this side clockwise, because we have started the rotation clockwise. So here in this position it will go to the more clockwise, and here it will go more anti-clockwise and in lesser in scale, right? And at the final it will settle down at 0. So before adding eases, I'm going to add one more keys. Here I'm gonna add eases and see how it looks, right? What do you guys think? This needs to be more faster actually. Yes, this has the impact. You can start the motion blur here with the hit of this button, and press F4 to toggle between the switches, and click on this icon. So you see a full motion blurry animated bowl of khichdi. Let's put it on quarter so we see the animation more faster. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Great. So I think yes, we got the animation here. I'm gonna see this same animation inside the main comp. I'm gonna switch this to quarter so that we see the preview faster. See guys, we started getting the composition ready now. Perfect. Now the final thing, I'm going to bring this little bit closer. Great. Now the only thing that is left here is adding the further wiggle kind of animation and some dynamism to the text, because right now everything is very static, no dynamics, nothing is there. So for that feel of dynamics, I'm going to add a null. I'm going to link the text composition to the null, but before linking, let's bring this null here at the corner bottom, at the left bottom of this composition. Good. And link the text composition. So now when you animate this, the text is rotating like that. Okay, we can keep the khichdi dish on top so that we don't have the overlapping of the text, so that we don't have the text over the bowl of khichdi. So while the text is animating, what we are going to make is, so we are going to bring the whole text down. So let's rotate this null anti-clockwise a bit and see. So I think, yeah, so it needs to fly and come down, fly and come down. Okay, but this is not looking so nice. So let's copy the same key here, and I'm gonna put this more down. Okay, yes, this looks very jerky. Actually, it has that shocky feeling. It's very linear. It is banging on our face actually. It's saying I'm sitting very badly. There is a big speed breaker there that's stopping me. So we need to remove that speed breaker. To remove that speed breaker, we need to hit F9 so that it becomes a smooth landing, right? I hope you guys are understanding. So let's rotate it more anti-clockwise. You can change the timing on these a bit. Correct. Here also you can add the motion blur. Have the motion blur on top of the khichdi layer. and we can also have the same to the and the Ayurveda text. Okay, fine. So this portion is done. Now we need to have one more null group. So this null object will be controlling the bouncy or wiggle motion, so that once this is formed there is nothing moving. So something needs to happen, right? So to keep the things moving, we need to add an expression wiggle. But before adding the wiggle expression, let's link this null, okay, this background and the Khichri layer to null 2. So this null 2, wherever it will go, it will take the whole composition along with it. Okay, now let's click on Alt and click. So if you press Alt click to the clock, we get into the expression modifier. So here you can write wiggle expression. In wiggle you can write 2,10. Okay, so we see we have things moving, so nothing is static, so it just have that little wobble motion. So once we finish this, we can add some stock elements. So a couple of days back I went to envato.com and I've downloaded the stock element from the video hype actually. So I went to Envato, I got it. I'm going to import that particular project of different stock elements which has different type of shapes, animated logos, pre-made logos, shape elements, stars, swooshes. So you can use multiple things, you know. So here if we go here inside, let's say we go in explosions, see, so there are n number of options you can use for your explosions, right? These are all the stock elements to your, this will add the beauty to your animation, motion graphics projects, logo animations, anywhere you want to use it. This is going to make the compositions more better and more engaging to the viewers, right? So you definitely visit envato.com for the cool stuff they really have on their website. Of course, the Envato has stopped giving subscriptions to the Indian customers, but if you are from some other country, you can definitely have a subscription and buy these type of stock elements and use them in your logo animations. And please understand that this video is not at all sponsored by Envato, but I thought I should share this key element with you so that you can also get you can also take your projects to the next level using these pre-made elements, right? So from this I'm going to use a circle element. I think this would look better. I think this we can use. When the circle starts appearing, our Khichri bowl can start scaling up through this circle, right? So let's go and incorporate this circle into our composition. Let's go to main comp, bring the Khichri dish here. I'm going to isolate both of these layers and see how to match the timings, right? So when the circle comes in, this is the circle is going to be here. Okay, I'm gonna delay the Khichri dish animation a bit. Okay, so to retime, what we can do is let's go to columns and stretch. Let's stretch this because we need to make it more faster, because our bowl is animating more faster than that circle stock element. So you need to understand that having the stock element projects downloaded doesn't mean that you can directly use them. You may need to do some adjustment to it so that it can fit to your requirements. Okay, so I'm going to reduce the speed to maybe 37 and see if this speed really matches to my animation. So yes, let's see how it looks with the full background and other elements. Let's put this on the add mode and see. I want this to be visible even more. I think this is okay. Yes. So along with this burst of the lines, we can have one more explosion kind of element here. This will also look nice. Let's copy this composition. Where is that? Let's go back to main comp. I'm gonna copy it here, fill this up, and see how this is going to look. Pretty good. You can scale this down or make this thing. Do you guys like it? I like it. But this needs to be more faster. Let's delete these, or make it you can keep this explosion behind the bowl and have just scale this thing down and cool. Pretty good. Yeah, right, we have added one stock element on the Khichri bowl, and let's add one stock element on the text side. So for that we can go and see anything inside the triangle. Let's use explosion 27, reducing its time duration. When it forms, it will burst. Great. See, it started looking so nice. I hope you guys have understood this animation, right? And you can also make a different animation for the text. That is, I'm going to show you now. So for this part, I think we have covered most of the stuff. You can just visit the envato.com and find out the different liquid elements, liquid motion elements, these triangle shapes, explosions. There is a lot of stuff that will really make your composition beautiful. So you can even change these colors. These are all alpha. Okay, so at any point of time, if you think that you need to make the changes in your colors, do go add the fill and it's gonna change the color for you. See, I've just changed it. So yeah, so I have different color to this animation. We can make it more fluorescent yellow. It is very light. I'm gonna make it more brighter. See, you can have the background explosion more similar to the circle. So not this one we can have explosion. Yes, see, this looks pretty good. Yeah, here also you can add the same type of effect, right? It's nice. So even you can also add the swooshes, right? When it forms, you can add the swoosh that's traveling through over the text, or maybe from this triangle they are just traveling up by burst. Yes, let's change the color. as well, so they don't look very different. Nice. Also have some color correction on top of the Khichri bowl. So let's make it a little brighter. Add the brightness. Yeah, looks nice. Vibrance. Color correct. It is looking nice after the color correction. See, it was looking very dull, and now we have added some brightness to it. Now I don't know if this is going to look nice, but I'm going to try the drop shadow. I'm going to make it red. I don't know. I don't know, it's not there or what. Yes, you can see that red is not looking nice. We may need to make it darker. I think darker shade would look better, but change the angle of the... Yeah, I think this is good. Yes, and on the background we can adjust the vignette to the side maybe, so the light is traveling from here. We can have different variations. Okay, this is good. Yes, perfect. So yeah, I was going to tell you a different style of simple animation. Let's go to the text comp. I'll show you a quick and easy text animation that you can try. Duplicate both of these layers, bring them on the top. I'm going to turn off the base layers that were there. Recompose both of these layers individually. Ayurveda and Khichri recipe. Alright, so now here if you see, we have got one composition for Khichri recipe and one composition for Ayurveda. Add the animation. I've switched to two composition views. Let's lock this and unlock this side. And here I'm going to go inside Ayurveda composition, animate this text. Okay, so this text is coming. So we need to remove the previous animators from both of these texts. Yes, so let's remove all the animation from these texts. Clear? It goes up and comes down, settles down, easy. Let's add easy ease to this. Fine. Now we're going to do the same treatment with Khichri recipe, and the last key would be default. Let's add the easy ease to all the keys. So yeah, so I think we have completed we have fixed the animation on both the letters. Let's go back to the text composition and see how this thing looks. Okay, so here, since we see both the letters, they are not invisible at all. So for that, I'm going to do an idea. So this is the default position. I'm gonna add a mask to this decomp and make this subtract. Okay, so when the text travels, its visibility will be gone till the time it doesn't comes to its default position, like this. Correct? Same thing we are going to do with the Khichri recipe. Correct? So now let's see how this animation looks in the main comp. Nice. So they both are coming and bouncing on top of each other, right? So you can try various options for the text animations and create different styles of animation. Alright guys, so hope you have liked the tutorial, and you must have learned something very quick and something very unique that would help you in your intros If you people are not so keen with After Effects, this tutorial will definitely help you get the best results for your YouTube channel intros. I will see you in the next tutorial with something new. Do keep watching our tutorials, our videos, and please hit the like button and comment and subscribe, which is the most important part, so that you are always updated with our latest videos. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.